Hello everyone, and I hope you enjoyed that new trailer that just dropped yesterday. I know I did. I felt as though if I did a regular gameplay video today that wasn't anything to do with Jurassic World, I'd probably be letting you guys down because not only did the trailer drop yesterday, but loads of other news also hit the internet. And that's precisely what we're going to cover, but first, let's talk about the trailer. So yesterday during the Super Bowl, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom decided to release their second official trailer, which was 1 minute 30 odd seconds in length, alluded to more of the main plot of the story, and also highlighted a far more darker tone that this movie's going to take. Which opens up with one of the most scary scenes I think we've ever seen in a Jurassic movie. And within 10 seconds of this trailer starting, we've got callbacks to the raptor shadow in Jurassic Park, and also the raptor claw clacking on the floor. But there's something so familiar about that Indoraptor scene, I just can't quite put my finger on it. It reminds me of somebody.
Hello there, young child.
But there's something far more sinister about this Indoraptor, from the way it outstretches its claw towards the girl in the bed, and the mouth that's shown. I've said this before, but it feels very like Alien. The claw almost resembling a xenomorph's tail, and the head, well, basically, Alien just was a mouth. And from what we're seeing from the Indoraptor, it's just a mouth. And the fact that it's also black. Maybe it's possible that Masrani knew that they were making a hybrid, but it was gonna be black. Which is why he was so surprised when he saw that Indominus Rex was white. And even Hoskins points this out, suggesting that Masrani knows more than he's letting on. So we see the dinosaurs being taken off the island in comedic fashion with one baryonyx. And this whole mission is headed by Claire, who's now part of the Dinosaur Protection Group. But we'll get into that later. First, we just want to stick to the trailer. So I'm getting the feeling that this organization has other agendas, albeit other people in the organization have other agendas. So when the dinosaurs are taken off the island, they're not taken to some reserve to be protected and live out the rest of their natural life. No, they're taken to the Lockwood estate, where they are sold to the highest bidder, as seen here with the auctioneer. And if you needed any more proof, it literally says Indoraptor bidding right behind him. And at some point, obviously, the dinosaurs break out, a couple of ankylosaurs run over a dude, Owen still forces dinosaurs to fight each other. That's pretty much all we gotta go off right now. And on to other news, the Jurassic World official website has completely changed. Now showing a Jurassic World closed sign, as well as loads of other information surrounding the volcano that's on the island. And if you go on the park map, it has every enclosure listed and they're all closed. And some actually include some interesting information. If you go onto the raptor paddock, it actually confirms that 3 raptors are dead. So that is, of course, Echo, Delta, and Charlie. All of the theories that thought that maybe Charlie or Echo or one of them survived when the Indominus threw it, no, that raptor died right there. It didn't get back up. And also confirms that what we already knew, Blue is free and roaming around the island. Another interesting one is the underwater observatory, stating that the attraction was crushed and released the Mosasaurus to open waters. So, I mean, I don't really know how all of this is connected, but apparently we've got a Mosasaurus swimming about. And 2 more little things to note is the gondola lift and, I can't even say that word, and the monorail. The gondola lift says that it's still operational, yet no safety checks have been made. And the monorail is completely inoperable. So maybe at some point we'll see those gondola lifts come into action? I mean, it seems no reason as to why they would say that it's still operable when the monorail is just like, nah, it's totally inoperable. And that's not the only change to do with the website. If you go into the list of dinosaurs, it lets us know from the events of Jurassic World to Fallen Kingdom whether that dinosaur actually went extinct. And there were only 2 dinosaurs that this happened to. And unfortunately that was Edmontosaurus and the Metriacanthosaurus. Most other dinosaurs are just classed as endangered, except for one. And that is, of course, the Mosasaurus, which is classed as missing. So it seems to me that we're gonna have a situation with Jurassic World where the Mosasaur is just randomly gonna pop up and surprise everybody. I mentioned in my previous Jurassic News episodes that there's supposed to be a submarine action sequence. And I can only imagine this is to do with the Mosasaurus. However, recently, an image has surfaced showing the Mosasaurus jumping for a helicopter. And this helicopter looks incredibly similar to the one that we see in the trailer, with Rexy roaring towards it. So is it possible that just after Rexy roars at this helicopter, the Mosasaurus launches from whatever body of water is underneath it and eats the helicopter whole. Now that would be pretty awesome. And the final bit of news is, of course, this whole dinosaur protection group. The website is finally live, and they've got a load of information on there. Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, tweeted out that this website is actually run by Jurassic Park enthusiasts, and that whenever he's got a question about if something's canon, he goes straight to them. But this leaves an interesting question. Who are these mystery people who are in cahoots with Universal? I mean, I don't know about you, but maybe it was the only people that seemed to do the protect the dinosaur things before it was even a thing. But that's just a theory. A beaver theory. Anyway, back to the Dinosaur Protection Group. So this website gives us a little bit of background about what the group want, and that is, of course, to save the dinosaurs. They've got a load of little promotional pieces here too. We created them. How can we abandon them? And then a picture of Isla Nublar with a bunch of dinosaur names inside it. Some blacked out and some in red. And since we already know that Edmontosaurus has went extinct because Edmontosaurus is in red, that every other dinosaur that's also in red has went extinct on the island as well. These include such dinosaurs as Styracosaurus, Mammochosaurus, Euplocephalus, Corythosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Deinonychus and I can't even say that word. Lethothosaurus. Deinonychus and Lethothosaurus. There you go. That's the best I'm gonna do. But interestingly, Spinosaurus is on that list, and its name too is in red. So at some point there was a Spinosaurus on the island, but unfortunately it is dead now. Whether that was the same one from Jurassic Park 3, we really don't know. But assuming that the Spinosaurus that was on the island was anything like the skeleton that the T-Rex destroyed, then no, it probably was not that Spinosaurus. But dinosaurs that have survived, unlike Edmontosaurus, we have Gallimimus, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Dimorphodon, Velociraptor, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Parasaurolophus, of course, Brachiosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Stygimoloch, Dilophosaurus. Interestingly enough, Metracanthosaurus is in black, even though on the Jurassic World website, it's said to be extinct. So maybe that's going to be a plot twist. It's like, oh my god, we thought that one was dead! And then it surprises them by jumping out of the bushes and yelling, surprise! Carnotaurus, Baryonyx, Pteranodon, Compsognathus, Mosasaurus, Microceratus, Allosaurus, Apatosaurus, Suchomimus, and Pachyrhinosaurus. And of course, this group has taken it upon themselves to remove these dinosaurs from the island. And what's interesting is that they've got a whole page dedicated to Mount Sibo, which of course is the volcano, showing a really cool live tremor readings feed and eruption simulation, showing what would happen to the island when the volcano erupts, which leads us to believe that Owen and Claire must be somewhere on the west side of the island, which is of course, if you look at the map, where the gyrosphere tour would have been. And it also gives us our first information on the two new characters, Franklin Webb and Zia Rodriguez, respectively played by Justice Smith and Daniela Penina, as well as a little history about what happened to Claire during the gap between Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, informing us that she's the founder of the Dinosaur Protection Group, and now heads a team of 30 volunteers. Zaya, it seems, wanted to be a vet working on Isla Nublar before everything, went kinda bad. Nobody's gonna get my margaritas! And after said events, she's now joined this cause with hopes that eventually she'll still be able to look after the dinosaurs in one way or another. And Franklin being an expert in all things to do with computers and the internet. And they've went to so many lengths to make this incredibly legit, with loads of testimonials, and even a public testimonial from Claire. The fallout after the disaster, like the one at the park, always brings about public outrage, political agendas, and way too many conspiracies to count. Laws are broken, morals are tested, people are lied to, and mistakes have to be lived with. But what can we do? Speaking as someone who has decided to devote her life to this cause, I believe we humans must realize that, no matter our shortcomings, we should not further abuse the animals we gave life to. We owe them at least that. And then, as if we didn't have enough Jurassic news, a gift was sent from above. The true sequel to Jurassic Park. Goldblum! This was one of the last things I was expecting to come up when I was watching the Super Bowl. And I think because of that reason, it made it so much more special. I was expecting one thing, and then all of a sudden... Sarah! It's just so many levels of gloriousness. Ever since The Lost World, it's been Mercedes that have had the spotlight when it comes to the Jurassic franchise. But now finally, one of the most iconic vehicles, the Jurassic Jeep, the Jeep have finally got back on board. It just seems so mad when you've got an iconic vehicle like the Jeep and they haven't advertised it since the first movie, like at all. So it's so nice to see it back, and it couldn't have came back a better way. Nobody messes with the bloom. Woo, and that sums about all of the information that I've got so far. Leave in the comments what you thought of the trailer and what you think about all this push that they're doing for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Personally, I think it's even better than what they did for Jurassic World. You can tell that there's so much love and dedication put into this. Even Colin, who's put something like the Dinosaur Preservation Group in the hands of Jurassic Park fans, just shows how much energy they're putting into this. And I cannot wait to see how it turns out. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and until next time, when more Jurassic news drops and all of that malarkey, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.